What are we looking at for number two then? I know that this was more around a research-based learning. Is that right?
Yes. So I would say what I would like to share everybody is whenever you want to invest, you have to have that planning, a trajectory. If not, you will just end up like like a headless chicken running everywhere.
Yep.
And this is the mistake. So when I bought that house, I quickly got a good equity and I bought another property quickly. This was on the highway, on the main road.
And
Now,
whereabouts? What state? Where are we talking?
this is back again in Auckland,
In Auckland. Okay. Yep.
New Zealand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And it's very important to consider with the due diligence is what are your distractors, what you need to avoid when you're buying a property.
Hmm.
I did not go too much into that. I just saw the property, I saw my equity, and I bought it. Now, I
Okay.
have done the research. I'm on a motorway. What could be the worst thing? How things going to be on a peak traffic? How is it going to affect you if any highway construction comes, if anything? And that's what happened. Is that after a couple of years, we got this letter from council. They were expanding the eastern motorway. All the houses on the main road were to be gone, and I ended up losing that property.
So you got a compulsory acquisition notice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. And so the takeaway from this is what be aware that if you're buying next to a highway that could be expanded, that this is a genuine risk.
That's one of the distractors, and
Okay.
that's where then you have specialists who can help you. That was one thing that you missed. But what's the other thing? Is there a swan behind? Is there what do you call what are other distractors like uh, power lines, power grids,
Mm-hmm.
symmetry, traffic. So there are lots of things that you have to consider. That's what I've learned, and I said, oh, okay, I should have thought about that.
Mm. Yeah, right. Okay. And as far as the sales concerned, because I know that here in South Australia, there's a few actually before I left being an agent, there was one in case in particular that really stood out where she should have got probably around 800 for the property. And I actually had the valuer call me when I was in Brisbane going, how did you put this value on it? And this was like peak craziness. And I was like, look, there's what's happening and there's what's happened. I said, your job is to look at what's happened, and I totally respect that. You're a
Yeah.
valuer, but my job is like, here's the crazy level that's going above everything. So I've got nothing to back that up apart from everything that we're selling is selling for 10% more, sometimes 20% more if things get
Mhm.
crazy enough. But her valuation though, they bought it for pretty much what had happened. And she, in my opinion, lost quite a lot of money.
Oh,
Did you find yourself in the same kind of situation, or was it actually pretty reasonable market value? How'd they compensate you?
now, so one thing I would say again, I would call it maybe my luck or what, that when the compulsory acquisition was done, the council was quite considerate and
Yep.
they knew how the market was, and I did end up getting a bit above the market.
Okay, so you
Yeah,
actually did all right out of it. You
yeah,
weren't wanting to sell, but still it wasn't too bad.
yeah. I would have kept it, so I would have got more
Hmm.
later on. As you say, it's very easy to sell. You today you
Mm.
want to go and buy something, you have to think twice. You have to get your saving. You want to sell, you just quickly go on the market and sell it. So selling is easy. It's
Mm.
buying when as what it is what I want to say is that it's proper planning, market research, and that's the difference that makes between doing a proper due diligence. That's the difference between an investor and a good investor.
Yeah, yeah, gotcha. All right, so if you could wrap that lesson up into like a sentence, what do you think is the key takeaway there for any investors listening?
Uh, Two things: have a proper planning, a
Hmm.
portfolio map, and you got to do a proper due diligence. It's very, very important. Planning and due diligence are the two key things.
Okay, perfect.